Wedge, the gals from Vancouver, 3 artists, Veda Hilly, O Susanna, and Kinney Starr, come into the environment live to be on the Wedge. They joined forces as part of the Scrappy Bitch Tour, hitting all cities across Canada. As well as we're going to end off with another scrappy bitch, or I should say righteous babe, DiFranco. She recently came to Toronto to open up for Bob Dylan. DiFranco has a very long history for such a young woman. At 15, she left home after her parents divorced. She grew up in Buffalo. She went on to form her own independent record label, Righteous Babe Records, which has been very successful for her. She's also going to be appearing on the Conan O'Brien show on September 18th, but of course you're going to be watching the Much Music Awards instead that night. All right, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow on The Wedge. Within your work, it's you've been overtly political as well as personal, but still political. But overall, your music conveys an understanding of injustice. Where do you think, like, what were some of the formative experiences, like way beyond, way back there that sort of propelled you?
I think I blocked them all. I don't remember. I don't know. I think I always had a tude. You know, I was just one of those feisty little kids, probably from the beginning.
You might just be too poor. Justice isn't something just anyone can afford.
I guess I have always looked at things politically, and maybe in my teen years I started to, you know, kind of formulate those political thoughts more coherently, you know, like learn words like feminist, you know, and socialist. And
did you ever think that it was, like, based on chance? Like, if you were born in the suburbs, in a totally different family, you could have been a bank teller?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about the bank teller part, but yeah. Yeah, well, I think, yeah, I mean, I think our circumstance is so much a part of who we are, and you know, it's an interesting thing to think about, you know, if all the little events and, you know, little horrors that I, you know, sort of encountered along the way, if they hadn't happened, I don't know, maybe I'd be a more well-adjusted person and wouldn't be writing folk songs.
Told me they always pay for lunch. They believe in what I do.
You've chosen to, like, function outside of the mainstream industry. Why did you choose that?
Well, I got a problem with record companies, big business in general, you know. So you know, I mean, I just sort of want to live in a world where, you know, I don't just resign myself to going to the Walmart for my tampons. I go to the corner drugstore because those people are part of my community and they care and they're there and it's independent. You know, it's not a big corporation. And I think the same thing with the music industry, you know? I mean, I think that, you know, Warner Brothers might have a lot to offer me, but I think that there are political compromises involved that don't make it worthwhile, have never really been attractive to me. So I'm interested in independent music, in grassroots music.
Which of us is deserving? Maybe look at the human race, the whole planet at arm's length, and we don't deserve this place.
It's hard because audience members, fans, or whatever, you know, sometimes their expectations of me are thwarted by my insistence on being just little me, you know, so I think a lot of people run into difficulty with that.
You're a bit like a little orphan Annie.
Yeah, Little Orphan Annie.
With the guitar.
You know, I auditioned for Little Orphan Annie when I was a kid.
No way.
And look, I got the part.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's me.
Tired of being so fearsome, tired of being so friendly. You don't have to be a supermodel to do the animal thing. You don't have to be a super genius. Open your face up and sing. Yeah.
A friend of mine wanted me to bring this up here in your photo album. This one here, she wanted to talk about the politics of armpit hair.
Wow.
So you don't
thing?
shave your pits, right?
I don't. No, and nobody else seems to either. I mean, nobody else happens to be shaving mine, it seems. The legs, I don't know.
Have you ever encountered problems with that? I know, like on TV, I don't shave my pits either, but there was one time there was a photograph of me, and the photographer airbrushed the hair out.
Oh yeah.
It's like a real bone of contention for a lot of people. Like, ah!
Yeah, there was a promo photo of me that, you know, where there was just a big old bush of hair coming out of, visible in the photo, and in newspapers everywhere they would cut the photo up right about at my neck. You know, it was like, you know, Ani D playing tonight, and there would be like this amputated head, you know, and I did notice that. It's kind of funny.
It is funny.
It's a North American thing. I think the rest of the world is, they don't mind hair on women so much.
And I might let you off easy. Yeah, I might lead you on. I might wait for you to look for me. Then I might be gone. This is where I come from and where I'm going.
Do you define yourself in terms of your sexuality these days?
Well, I mean, I've never really have, but people again always jump to the definitions for you. So, I mean, I've always in my songs talked about my relationships with men and women, and I mean, to me, it's even strange to sort of frame it like that, because I don't think of them as relationships with men and women. I think of my relationship with that person, and then I met them, and you know, to me, it's just my life, and it's the people that I love, and you know, so I mean, bisexual, sure, you know, people use that word. I say, okay, I like queer, you know, because it's much more kind of fluid, you know. I think that you can be queer and be homosexual or heterosexual or bisexual. To me, it's sort of an idea of an alternative way of looking at sexuality.
Have you always been that way, like open to all sorts of possibilities?
I think so, yeah. I'll eat any food. Once.
Some days the line I walk turned out to be straight. Other days the line tends to deviate. I got no criteria for sex or race. Just want to hear your voice. I just want to see your face.
I have a suspicion that human sexuality does not have a big line down the middle of it.
Figure, hey.
Like, you know, I mean, those are all social constructions. Gay, straight, black, white. You know, it's like when, you know, how can you put us on one side or other of like some socially constructed fence? You know, I mean, even man, woman. You know, I mean, there's some anatomy that's pretty hard to get around. But in terms of our character and our nature, we have masculine and feminine working within us.
In the daylight, everything is so gory. You can hear snatches of strangers' sorry stories. And I moved there from Buffalo, but that's nothing. The tricho plant moved to Mexico.
The way I see my job that I've sort of invented is that it's really important for all of us to tell our stories, because there are so many different versions of morality and of, you know, life experience, and you know, there's only certain stories that tend to make it onto TV and in the history books, and so, you know, art, you know, and music and writing, and you know, those are all ways of inserting other perspectives into history, you know, and so and I think broadening our ideas of what our morality is, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.